Here's the valve. 2 handles, a cartridge, a pierced cylinder, and a white plastic cylinder attached to a thermostat. Right here, we have everything we need not only to control the temperature, but to automatically keep it at that level. Turning the upper handle allows water in. The lower handle moves the white cylinder attached to the thermostat backward or forward. That movement changes the amounts of hot and cold water. How? Well, there are 2 entries, one for hot water and one for cold water. The hot water gets a bit more room. That's normal. Typical showers use an average of 60% hot water and 40% cold. On the cartridge are 6 slots, 3 in the front and 3 in the back. Hot water comes in through the rear slots, passes through the holes in the cylinder in the center of the cartridge, reaches the thermostat, and finally pours from the shower head. Cold water comes in through the front slots, passes through the holes in the cylinder, and slips into the space between the white plastic cylinder and metal surface. The size of this space depends on the position of the handle. The larger the space, the greater the amount of cold water that's allowed to come in. By turning the tap, we control the amount of cold water that mixes with hot water. Interesting. But once it's done, the valve all by itself keeps things constant at all times. How? The slightest variation in temperature causes the thermostat to react. 0 electronics, just a copper shaft filled with paraffin. If water around the thermostat gets too hot, the paraffin expands and pushes the white plastic cylinder. The space between the white plastic cylinder and the metal surface widens, allowing more cold water to squeeze through. Simple, but impressive. The shaft containing the paraffin can move a maximum of 0.6 of a millimeter, the width of 6 sheets of paper. Pretty small, but over a period of 10 minutes, that 0.6 millimeter difference can mean 50 more liters of cold water. Enough to correct those temperature variations that often happen when we take a shower. But a flushing toilet can mean a sudden and drastic dip in cold water pressure. When that happens, a second mechanism jumps into action. Cold water pressure suddenly nosedives. In the valve, hot water pressure on one side of the pierced cylinder becomes greater than cold water pressure on the other side. This pressure difference pushes on the pierced cylinder. The holes shift relative to the slots in the cartridge. This movement allows more cold water to enter than hot water. Voila! The problem is the solution. When cold water pressure returns to normal, the cylinder returns to its original position. Thanks to these simple devices, no more hot and cold or cold and hot. Inanimate objects displaying intelligence.
忍不住了，必须搞一场破坏，告诉你们，数显原理其实很简单。阀芯内部有个小涡轮，水流驱动叶片转动，给显示屏供电，遵循容量守恒，不需要插电，也不用电池。